1. Welcome back to the Rival Series action right here on Rival Esports stream. Still Jar Jam, still with Bacon and Nambi. We just saw unexpected results. Team BDS left no chances to Servette Geneva Esports. Another unsuccessful showing from the Swiss team, or at least one of the Swiss teams, Servette Geneva Esports, of course known as the prime Swiss team, but they're having a lot of troubles. Once again, seems like they couldn't find the net. Only one goal scored during the whole series for Servette. That was their first goal in the first game. After we thought, hey, they're going to find momentum. And then something happened and they completely broke down. What happened?
Like, just you pointing out, it was only the one goal. It didn't feel like that throughout the entire series. I know that, they didn't get any goals at all. But just by the way they were playing, you would have expected something. And that's the problem for me. There was just a lot of aggression, don't get me wrong, like good aggression on their counters, but they were continuously passing. No one had the guts to put a finishing shot on target. And that is a problem that generally when they're under and they're just not confident in themselves, they lack the confidence to really put that finishing touch on that.
And it does seem that despite that loss, at the very least, Yagi has improved compared to the previous series. Could this be something that you can take out coming into the next matchups, or could it be all over for Servette at this point?
I would say, like, they have... You could see some signs that they were definitely communicating very well. Like when Mirror put a shot on, or when Zafir was able to get a touch on, they seemed to have, it looked like they just weren't on target, but they definitely had the rotations in some ways in check. And in some ways, they were able to come back from what seemed to be some Team BDS huge offensive pressure, but they just couldn't surmount it after they were off in the defense to transition. So I think for now, it's going to be a lot tougher to come back after this loss, because since it's now more than halfway, you have to basically win every single game.
It does feel like for the majority of that series, it was between the rock and a hard place for Servette Geneva, with the rock being their net and the hard place being Team BDS. It was just non-stop pressure from the BDS side. We also know that earlier today we have learned that Servette Geneva Esports have to be parted ways with their coach, with whom they've been working from January of this year. So it's even more uncertainty for the Swiss team. But we're wishing them all the best and hoping that, if not in rival series, they can find their footing in different series. But folks, let's move on to the next series of today. That's going to be Baguette Squad versus Notorious Legion Esports. Unfortunately, this is another series where we have one team that we know is going to be not going to have the best of times, or at the very least, we're expecting them not to have the best of times. Baguette Squad. Really, what went wrong? What are they missing? What could possibly happen to the team that's been performing so well in previous season? Baguette Squad have retained their spot from the previous season of Rival Series, but now they're sinking without trace, and really a loss today can just put a cross on their whole season.
Yeah, definitely. You're looking at them right now, 0-4. They can turn it around right now like they did last season. And the possibility is there, Jam. I'm going to put it out there, because you look at their results. A lot of them have been quite close, game 5 scenarios. But you're seeing a lot of comparisons to complexity last season, where they look okay, but they just cannot get over that last hurdle. And I feel bad for the lads, because they're fantastic kids. But going up against Notorious Legion, who broke that confidence barrier that they had going into week 1 of the rival series, and now are just super hot. You got to think, this team has experience, Echo Zulu from last season, and then they bring in the new kid, KASH, who, I'm going to be completely honest, I thought was going to have a terrible time this season, because he had jumped the bubble scene sort of level. His lower bubble scene, top of the community, and then just went straight on into a rival series team and has flourished. This kid is so darn really stepping up to the challenge, and we know how good Matane and Tars are, so Notorious Legions have all the makings for a top tier team in the rival series.
Well, we're about to find out exactly how that's gonna go. So Nambi, Bacon, have at it. Baguette Squad versus Notorious Legion Esports.
So from what we mentioned from Team Echo Zulu, I'm, like you, I love to hear those kinds of stories where they take a guy that was in the lower bubble scene, and then he comes in and absolutely just dominates or at least
Yeah.
does very well in it. I love to hear those kinds of stories because at least then, you know, it's not that you're always being held back, but at the same time, it gives you a chance to say, hey, you know what? Can you prove yourself in the rival series?
It also is like super interesting because a lot of other players don't expect that change up, and you bring new exciting styles of play. Look at him right now. We talk about that KASH. That opportunity was absolutely bag of nuts. Unfortunately, not going to come out. SWOOPIN. Good block out from KASH once again. He's absolutely creating opportunities and owning that midfield. That is his to rule. No one else is allowed around it. No one else is allowed to get the first goal. KASH is not only the man of the moment, but the man of the season so far.
And I love his rotation when he went inside in front of the net, waiting to see, just for insurance, is anyone trying to save this ball? And since there's no one there, he just immediately rotates back and has a great shot on net, and they can barely make a save on it. I would say that it was definitely possible to make it, but if you're playing up against KASH, maybe in any other situation, it would have been saved. But this man, as we've seen, just give him the chance to make a play, and he can score a goal. Just crazy.
And indeed, into the corner, Ukis trying to just tank that one through, get them arms out, get the shoulders out, and really just build up. Good defense, not going to happen. Tars, oh, that is a flyby. Not so pretty. SWOOPIN, not going to be able to do a massive amount of it. Ritual does hold up the midfield, but Tars gets that around the corner, and they're trying to just focus on boost right now. Notorious Legion, don't get put into the corner like that.
And what a great pass coming out from the corner hit. SWOOPIN knows his teammates there, and Rizwal's there to absolutely make this go into a screamer. And both defensemen are split, and the net is wide open just for maybe just a second. And they were able to put that straight in. And now SWOOPIN, or even gives it back to Rizwal, has a chance to put it off the backboard. KASH cannot read it as Swoop tries to put it in. They can't make the save. Taz looked like he had the hit, but SWOOPIN is able to now take the lead.
The thing is, Taz gets so many highlight reel worthy saves like that. You would have thought that was saved as soon as he touched it, but no. Today, the Rocket League lords, the gods above the pitch, deem that not worthy, but redemption sings true right now as Tars equalize it out. It don't matter if he missed that goal as long as he gets one back.
And what a kickoff came back from with KASH. And of course it all starts with KASH. This kickoff comes out, goes past two. The last person cannot read it, and Taz puts it in. What they need is a goal here. And already we're starting off on a tie here. 4 goals already scored, and it's only been just 2 minutes in. And Rizwal actually wanted to give it right to SWOOPIN. He was coming in, and SWOOPIN puts one in middle. Rizwal had to go all the way back, was unable to get that read, and now puts it up high for Ukis. Taz waiting on the backboard. Ukis puts it in. KASH is now on the back foot. He makes the save. SWOOPIN cannot beat him. KASH, now you're good at both offense and defense.
Yeah. When they made him, they broke the mold, and well, I'm sure many others are a bit jealous as KASH gets the clearance downfield. Ritual is there and does very well. Connecting up, tried to get it to Ukis, but Matane stops that in the track, and midfield at their finest. That lad, Ritual, getting out by Tars, but Ukis is there. Good block coming out from KASH. This needs to be hit downfield by Matane. He is going to try and look for space. SWOOPIN. We'll find Tars, and that ain't a teammate. That's the problem. Ritual knocking it down to ground. Does get a second follow-up here, and we'll carry this to the midfield. Matane going to put on that pressure, not allowing the lads off the bread to breathe.
It was a great rotation coming out from Baguette squad to take away that pressure. As it looked like on the sidewall, he didn't have any more options, but he found someone middle. Ukis waiting for Matane to touch this. SWOOPIN puts it off in the corner. It goes over Taz. Rizwal has a chance at this, but it doesn't go under quick enough. Matane now is able to get away from Rizwal as he was able to come screaming for it. Taz just misses it, but KASH is going to clean it up as it's now 3-2 coming in for Notorious Legion.
And right here, Rizzo in net tries his darndest. He has to jump across that initial hit and just cannot get there for the second. KASH going to be credited with another, the second up on the board. And if you're looking at score right now, 636. That is like on par with his opponent team combined. That is absolutely crazy stats right there. But of course, one man is not good enough to win a game or win a series. You look at what Taz and Metain have been doing. They near enough feed this kid, continuously setting him up with opportunities, and then near enough honing their defense, making sure they're going to win it from the counters. Time keeps ticking away here, Nambi, and that is not a good 50-50. Notorious Legion with the demo, gonna start a lunge, but not really wanting to commit completely to it.
Yeah, it's gotta be, the double demo came out and it took away any kind of power play that Notorious Legion wanted to gain from that. But it's already very quick in the series. Yukis almost snuck it in. Metain able to take that chance away. KASH puts it up high. Metain can get another touch here. Taz is waiting for it in the middle, but Rizwell's going to be able to clear it away back to Yukis, and a shot that KASH needs to make the save, puts it off to the side, makes a very smart touch, leaves the ball for Taz. Yukis, it wants to 50 this. He 50s it twice, but KASH is able to clear it out, and now they have an opportunity to keep this ball down, but he puts it up high. And now Metain unable to get that second touch. SWOOPIN keeping it alive as this could go in, but no. Notorious Legion, after coming out swinging, KASH, he has already, he's playing insane this game.
Yeah, KASH, of course, firing all the cylinders, but like I said earlier, Metain, look at them saves. Look at Taz there with his near enough midfield control as well. Metain and Taz, like this is what I was talking about earlier with Metain and Taz in defense, near enough focus, and then pushing up to midfield. KASH is just allowed to do whatever on earth he wants. And that's scary. How do you counteract that? For me, Baguette Squad, I didn't see them try and demo out KASH at all. Like, for me, that is the instant thought of what to do. Following that up, maybe try and gain control boost, or try and go for what they're trying at the moment, which is a lot of interception plays, but that's quite risky because you're throwing yourself out there and it can be wonky on the rotations. What Baguette Squad are doing at the moment is okay, but it's not good enough, is it? You know, they've got somewhat an answer, but it's only swinging, you know, the tide, the poles, 60-40 against them. They need to pop that past the 50% mark and gain themselves an advantage.
Yeah, it's more about playing sort of actively to how your opponent is playing versus reacting and making adjustments only once they make something or once they try to do something. And Notorious Legion, they already have the tools of the trade to basically do whatever they can to get this ball back in, as now Taz wanted to get a better touch off of the side wall, but SWOOPIN is unable to get that back. Rizwell has to make that clear, but it goes straight to KASH. He goes for the pass. Taz was the third man. Luckily, it does not go automatically into the net. I know Notorious Legion did win the other game, but you have to be careful to not allow that to happen, especially if the third man is missing the ball like that.
Yeah, ball out to center. Rizwell gets a good touch on him. Metain down to the corner. This is going to be a little bit tricky, but no, that 50-50. Baguette Squad a little bit too pushed up on that, so not going to be able to get to the ball quick enough. Do keep control, which is commendable. Can they get this in front of net? Can they get a shot on target? The answer there is no, and look at this counter from Metain. Taz a little bit too close, wasn't expecting such a high pop-up. KASH is onto the ball and beats out his opponent. Metain chasing onto it. Oh, drop down, and that is an explosive opener in game 2.
Yeah, what a great pass from KASH. He needed to beat SWOOPIN to that ball, and Yukis just sitting too low in, and Metain takes advantage, and they're already up 1-0. Notorious Legion are just coming out strong here. As we've seen, we've been, as you know, lately, we've been very impressed with how Notorious Legion have been handling themselves, especially in this situation. Metain gets, SWOOPIN can't get the second touch, and now is waiting for someone to come in, but KASH used his brain. 100 IQ, 180 IQ play, comes in and does not go for the ball. So that means great discipline also coming out from Notorious Legion.
That is exactly what I was thinking there. Yeah, sure. KASH had 100 boosts. He could have got up in the air and tried something, but no. Rocket League is won by the numbers. The greatest teams in histories aren't just trying to ball chase all the time, not just trying to, I don't know, try their chances. Here, no, they win by thinking about what is the best action. You can see Notorious Legion doing that right now. 50-50, not going in their favor though, but you see Matane hangs about, slows the ball down in this corner, allows his teammates to get boost themselves and get upfield. Look at this. The block comes through from SWOOPIN, but Tars is straight onto it, steals the boost as well. Matane looking to get this around to KASH in the center, but that hit from Ritual was golden to find Yukas.
It was so close. Now they're so close to even scoring here. Matane gets a great touch because he had to get that one. Last man back. He has to take this one too, just so it does not go on net. And KASH slows down the play again. We're just kind of seeing like a little bit of flakes in KASH as he's able to slow it down and keep control of the ball. Taz puts it to the middle. Matane, it goes a bit high. There is another chance at it, but KASH cannot get the 50-50 that he wanted on it. And again, Notorious Legion has more possession of the ball as it kept going into their side, as now Baguette squad have really been struggling with the passing plays off of the corner. It just seems that they just can't hold possession for more than 30 seconds.
And the thing is, the passing plays are all good ideas. The problem is the ball is just ever so slightly out of reach for each other. Yukis 50-50 and the ball will go into the corner. Boost Starvation has got to be kicking in right now for Baguette squad, but it don't matter. Ritual picks up a great little second touch off the wall jump, and look at this, Tars. It don't matter at all. Not able to reach that one.
Yeah, there was one player that tried to come in, and then Taz had to go for some boost. He was definitely low. He was hoping maybe his teammate was going to be able to get that challenge off, but no. We're already 1-1. And as much as we're talking about Notorious Legion, Baguette squad has kept it very close here. KASH wants to go off the ceiling. Taz wants to put this pass down. No, he went for a shot and almost went in. Oh my goodness, Baguette squad probably are sweating a bit after that one.
And I've got to ask then, Nambi, after that last goal, whose fault is that? Because Matane, yes, went up for the ball early, but he's got to challenge those, right? Tars going back. Should you go straight back to net? Should you go for boost? I think there's no clear-cut answer, is there? Because it all comes down to the situation.
And I think in that one situation, it's like, would you even have enough after the coin pickups, because it does go straight to the net. But Taz was already rotating back, but as we're talking about that, KASH is able to cash in on this one, and it's now 2-1 for Notorious.
Yikes. Yukis and SWOOPIN there. Just sometimes lads, like they just want to have a little cuddle. That's what it seemed like. They just need it. Sometimes you just need a hug, you know. And well, that one cost them. Tie is now Notorious Legion's favor. 40 seconds remaining. Definitely costly indeed. They are setting up a nice little set piece. Yukis high in the air. SWOOPIN wanting to bounce out to middle. Taz unfortunately does get bad connection. He's struggling to get his ball away. KASH will lend a hand after the demo.
Oh, what a
that
great
looks
challenge.
like a free net in front.
Oh man.
Overcommitment galore.
And this is just a great challenge by KASH. You know that he's only going to be able to hit this just below, and just makes even a great turn, because you know Rizwell is going to be able to cover that latter half, and he was coming in screaming to see if he could get that hit. But 3-1, it's just two explosive goals coming out from Notorious Legion after two defensive hiccups, or excuse me, one defensive hiccup and one overcommitment coming out from Baguette squad. I mean, can you blame them? It was already almost 20 seconds in. They had to get something on the board. And this is going to give it to Notorious Legion as what seemed to be that how they play is just so comfortable. Like from what we saw almost on that double tap, and how KASH is just able to create chances for this team, and he's even the leader of how he's shooting on these nets.
Oh yeah, like again, it just comes down to the playstyle of Notorious Legion. Of KASH is going to be the catalyst for this team. He is what is going to make them burn so bright. You got to think, after last season, we wouldn't have thought Echo Zulu would come back looking this strong. Not only did, they drop their org, They came back with a new one, and they are just absolutely crazy right now. We'll have to see how, because for me, it looks like they can only get better because each and every week they're improving. We can't discredit the win against Dignitas, can we now, midweek? That was crazy. So coming up against here, like, this is why we put them to win against Baguette Squad mainly. This is the team on the high. Baguette Squad, game 1, they did great against them. Of course, it was a very close game, but game 2, Notorious Legion just kept pushing that envelope. They aren't going to let up, and look at it, 7 seconds. You know who's going to get this goal.
The Notorious wins against Dignitas to Notorious goals like this. It was so fast. Like, there's nothing they could do after they were all in the corner waiting to find out who's going to hit it next. And KASH is just so quick with the quick pass coming out with the assist from Mitane. It just seems like Echo Zulu, from what it used to be, has shedded the skin as like a reptile, just shed it away. And now that they brought KASH in, it just seems that they're just free to do whatever they need to do to win these, and almost comfortably as well.
Yep. Of course, they do have a great backing in the Benelux region, known near enough as the Kings of Netherlands. They bring in the Englishman KASH, and only bolsters them. SWOOPIN into the corner. Yukis does chase up well on this. He's got tons of boost. He can make this happen, but the block out is so good from Tars, aiming to get that off to the side. The attack isn't over just yet. Yukis steals the corner boost and is trying to set this on up. But the interceptions, the 50-50s up in the air, are great from Notorious Legion. The Baguette Squad, try as they might, just cannot seem to break anything in the ways of defense for this side.
And I saw that Baguette Squad had some great pressure coming in, but it just seemed that after they had one bad 50-50, they just could not make the proper adjustments to, keep it away from Notorious Legion. But that is also because Notorious Legion right now is playing out of their minds, as Mitane is able to score another one after the defense is nowhere to be seen.
You feel bad here. Ritual, I'm just going to say it right now, should have let that linger in the corner. They have very little boost. So what do? You try and keep that as the hardest route to net. Yes, it will be awkward. It'd be almost fumbly. But right there, he tees it up. We know how much Notorious Legion love to get up and drop those balls down into net. So you just take it away from the corner, where normally they're actually their weakest. You look at little jump outs like that. They're not the biggest fans of the corner ball. They like going up the center path. Well, I mean, if I was on the pitch, I'd do the exact same thing now,
I think, well, you did bring up a great point when it's like, is the shot or is the pass threatening? And if they are unable to see or unable to recognize that it may not be threatening, like you did say, keep it in the corner so you can keep control of it and not having to think that I have to touch this ball or they're going to get shot on or they're going to get some kind of 50-50 that's in favor. But right now what we're seeing is Notorious Legion are able to definitely make that distinguish factor, as Rizwell definitely did leave it for Yukis, but Mitane just demos him out of the play. Rizwell has to make this touch. He does, but SWOOPIN, I think he definitely could have dribbled this because it looked like Taz and Mitane were definitely still on the back wall, and the shot is just not threatening enough.
Oh, Tars, look at that!
Oh my goodness!
What? Not like this! We wanted that goal so bad!
Oh my goodness!
Oh, that is so bittersweet. We miss out on what would have been a glorious, a beautiful, probably the goal of the year so far. End up with this one, which I'm just going to say is not something pretty to look at, but the story, Nambi, that's what we got to think about right here. The possibility, Baguette Squad, after times like that, it can bring them confidence back, can't it? You look at SWOOPIN, he's fired up. Mitane does get the block, and KASH receives it brilliantly to link him up. But Baguette Squad, they're back in action.
Yeah, KASH is still waiting on the ball, and
yeah.
he cannot save this. And the pendulum has swung completely the other direction as Yukis puts a great shot into the backboard, knowing that KASH is going to be able to make that save. And it goes off of SWOOPIN out of anybody, just touches it with his hood, and we're already tied. And Baguette, after we felt that there was no absolute way of seeing that their motivation was down and out after what seemed to be Notorious Legion's game, Baguette has brought it back.
Yep. Some beautiful witchcraft going on this pitch. The Baguettes have been buttered and they are ready to go for a win. 1 minute 30 left now for them to find another. And they're on the attack. You better be careful. KASH does get a clearance downfield and he's chasing up on that. Hit by Visual, does send it off wide. Tars. Not entirely sure where that one was going, but it does buy time for Matane to get back. And he's in a very scary position. Does brilliant with that ball to link up with KASH. But zero boost, he's downfield. In actually a very decent place, but the problem is they've got to be careful not to overcommit. KASH was the only man back there, and Matane, he's challenging this ball. Not what I would like to see in there personally, but it's working. They're playing the pace right now, Notorious Legion, and they have to find another. They want this sweep so bad. They can taste it.
He wants to get a second touch off of the corner. Just missed it. Rizual actually leaves it because I think he is out of boost, and now he puts it all the way back. Now needs to get this touch as Taz now on the pressure. KASH was actually going in, just searching for a demolition into the back end. But Rizzle with a great clear. Yukis is ready for this. If he can get a great touch off, he could have passed it to Rizzle. He does, but it's just too quick. As now Taz on going back the other way. The pendulum is swinging both ways too quickly here as all the momentum. Now, it seems that both teams hold it. As now Matane, as Rizzle puts it off of this corner, as Taz puts it onto the middle, but it doesn't go far enough as it's now an overtime.
OT, baby. Absolutely love these. The pinnacle, the moment we all thirst for in Rocket League and SWOOPIN. He's on an absolute charge. He's got it.
Oh my goodness.
SWOOPIN is going to bring it back. You've heard enough terms about the pendulums this evening, but it is so real right now. Baguette squad take one. Reverse sweep, Nambi. It's on the cards.
He's swooping now. I can't believe that we just saw two quick goals coming out from Baguette squad and a quick overtime for SWOOPIN to come in and make the 1v1 play that his team needed to make. And remember, everybody, this is a team that has not won a series yet, and it seems to me that suddenly they look like that they could definitely have a reverse sweep here.
The one thing I love as well is there's so much support for both these sides. Like, chat just went absolutely hyper after that goal. And I mean, fair enough. It was a fantastic one. Unfortunately, server's going down for maintenance. So we get a bit of time here, Nambi, to break this down now.
All right.
You know what? Scripted servers. I love it. As now we can go. What was the turning point for the Baguette squad there? Don't get me wrong. It was the mistake goal. We know that. That was the real turning point. But how does a goal that's given over give a team so much confidence?
Because, well, it's like when you see a weak point, right? You know now where to aim the shots at. You now know where to put them. You now know that, hey, SWOOPIN's actually popping off now. He's already scored 2 goals. And even though one of them was on accident, that doesn't mean that the confidence goes down at all. Because everyone on the team always says, we take those. We take those to the bank. We cash those in away. And Baguette right now, like you did say before, it just seems like it took 2 games to download their opponents, especially when it came to the offensive plays, because what we did start noticing is a Notorious Legion, they love the offensive plays, they love to have everyone involved, but once the counterattack from Baguette came in twice, they couldn't do anything about it.
A Notorious Legion, I think they might have got too big for their boots. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, they were up, but they were trying plays which are bold, to put it subtly, you know? Where they were trying to go for that highlight of the week. You're going to see that up on Reddit in a matter of moments. And it came to bite them in the booty. And, I mean, they pay the piper, and coming into this one, they've got to shut this down now, because if they go to game 5, I would probably swing in Baguette squad's favor, you know, just purely because momentum is so key in Rocket League.
And I love how the momentum also shifts so wildly. It is never is consistent in each of the games where like we saw the momentum completely going into Notorious Legion's favor, and then once Baguette gets one goal, suddenly it's just like the ball's now it's in anyone's game now. You saw that after Baguette got that one goal, it seemed that they were passing a lot better. They had more confidence in some of their touches, and it seemed even SWOOPIN was, because in any other situation, and if it was still 2-0 and SWOOPIN was 1v1 versus Matane, I don't think he would have made that shot in that situation. But since it was different, and he made that 1v1 play, and it was in overtime, he was definitely able to get that shot in.
Right, the players have just tested the server, make sure that it is game ready for us, and they're all pretty happy about it. So we are moments away from a tantalizing game 4 here, Nambi, and I cannot wait for it. To the point that I'm readying up straight away. Everyone is readied up for this. Like, I feel like a kid on Christmas morning right now. Like, what is this present we're going to get to open on stream, guys? Looking at it, people are still heavily in the Notorious Legion. Our producer Tractor Manager just went, "You're going to get a pendulum for Christmas." Okay, enough of the pendulum stuff, guys. Let's stop.
Can we have a meme of the pendulum, please? Can we get a clip of that? I don't have
I can't wait for a meme of just like the pendulum there. Your face as the pendulum, Nambi. I'd love to see that.
And as
it would be. Go on. You take us into this one.
Yeah, and as we're talking about swings for sure, SWOOPIN, I mean, definitely did not lose confidence in his team, especially being upfield for those counterattacks. But like you did say, Notorious Legion needs to shut this down, as now SWOOPIN now wanted to actually go for KASH on a bump hit or a demo. But KASH is still there to make the corner play. And if Notorious Legion does get it early or get a goal early, they could definitely see their momentum swift change again.
Interesting little pause there from Matane. A little bit of a roundabout route, but it worked. It allowed teammates to get on in. Tars right now beaten to the ball. This is dangerous. SWOOPIN to the corner. Matane holds back. It's so darn clever there. He can read his opponent's KASH. Chasing this up. He's got the shot, but the save from SWOOPIN. It's something out of a fairy tale. Ooh.
As we kind of just pause here, a little bit of pause from both of these teams. What I do like to see, especially from Baguette, is their rotations actually have gotten better throughout the series. Because what we did see is when we saw a 2v1 against Notorious Legion, and it seemed like after Notorious Legion came out, it seemed like they were always having trouble, especially up against these 2v1s, because when the pressure is on, it seems even Notorious Legion can crack under it. But Baguette, they want to make a statement by putting this over Taz. KASH needs to slow this ball down, and Rizwell cannot keep it in, or actually does keep it into the corner. It looked like it did go past him. It goes straight to Rizwell. Matane makes the save, and SWOOPIN needs to get that out of the way. It now just seems that these two teams are so evenly matched.
Yeah, and you can see the rotations coming in so strong that Matane is able to make it all the way back, get 100 boosts. Good call coming in from Tars. So Matane leaves it. And you can see right now they're communicating so well, Notorious Legion, but the way that Baguette squad are passing this ball around is incredible. Yukis and KASH not going for that one, allowing the opponent to go for it, and well, it didn't look so great, but it's interesting nonetheless. Yukis with the clear, middle boost picked up by Matane as he wants to get this all around the back wall. Link up with KASH, not the best hit, but KASH follows on, gets a 50-50. I don't know how you can recover from that.
It's really tricky, as it seemed that after that 50-50, Matane could not manage that ball as it was just flying into the middle. And Taz, we've seen some great plays coming out from Taz as well, where he's been able to make some great setups or even some great goals, and we've seen some opportunity where even Matane has as when they are flying high, it seems they always make that hit. He makes that shot. KASH puts it off of the wheels. There's a weird thing in Rocket League where it hits that area and it just goes faster. Unbelievable, as Yukis puts it off the backboard. KASH needs to hit that so SWOOPIN doesn't come in and take it. As now KASH makes a great 50-50 in, but can't follow it up. Taz might have a setup onto the corner end, cannot get the second touch either, and it's just who's going to make the first mistake to get the first goal momentum shift here.
And that's all down to both these two teams actually being very defensive focused. Taz, he's not going to be able to chase up on the ball, but you know who can. KASH breaking through the wall of defense after that brilliant setup from Taz off the backboard. 1-0 in Notorious Legion's favor. They might have had game 3 stolen from them, but you know they're hounding, they're hunting, they're hungry for game 4 to be theirs.
They need a chance at this game 4 and maybe take a game off of Notorious Legion, because this is the best chance they're going to get throughout the entire series. If Baguette do not win this one, it'll definitely be a tough one, especially for the rest of it. And you can see that they are hungry for that game 4, because they are trying to get some of these balls in. I see that they have these setups going, but just the execution seems to be just a bit off. I know SWOOPIN was going in for Matane, a great back pass. Rizwell needs to put one on net because Yukis is slow to rotate back. And Taz is able to slow down the play a little bit, waited for SWOOPIN's hit, which is a great, smart idea. KASH is able to take that chance away, but Yukis wanted to get Rizwell in on it, and SWOOPIN's going to be able to come in hot, but KASH is able to take that chance away again, and the onslaught still keep coming from Baguette. Rizwell puts one in the middle, Taz passes it back to Yukis, and that was just an unfortunate touch. I don't think that was a purposeful touch.
Whatever it was a goal. 15 seconds left in the game, and Yukis has just bought the Baguette squad, and probably the entire nation of France who are backing them right now, a lifeline. Time will keep ticking on. It waits for no man. OT definitely on the cards, but Baguette squad now have advantage. Ball down in the Notorious Legion half. Matane, he wants to carry this forward. Most men would kill it. Just like that. And it is sudden death in game 4. I mind you at home. A win for Notorious Legion here is a win of the series. For Baguette squad, we go to game 5, and Baguette squad are so fired up. They're fresh out of the oven, and they are ready to deliver. Not going to connect right there, but a good follow-up from UK.
And with some of these plays, Baguette is so close. They're just one pass off or one miss coming out from Notorious Legion. And as Notorious Legion, you got to be sweating a little bit, as some of these chances have been very close. But that's a pass to Matane. Matane's always going to take that shot. Yukis puts it up too high, but Taz is able to take that and manage it. Yukis with the delay hit. It was almost going to be a pass in, or looked like he wanted to make that shot. Rizwell's the only one back, as KASH is going to cash it in, and Rizwell... this is a misrotation play, it seemed, as Rizwell wanted to give his team a chance to get back in, but KASH is able to take that chance away, and Notorious Legion had to shut down Baguette team before any momentum could be gained.
But can we note as well, that pass down to KASH was picture perfect, right in the best place near enough for him to receive. Great power behind it, and defense only had milliseconds to respond to it, and unfortunately weren't up to the task. Baguette squad nearly an almighty comeback, but Notorious Legion shut them down. 3-1 in their favor. They are armed, they're ready, and they are storming through the rival series at the moment. So much credit to them here as they now move up, Nabi, to 3-2. It wasn't the best of starts for them, but they really turned it around.
Yeah, and what a great turnaround that is to see a team where they kind of struggled in the beginning, but now we're seeing that now they're getting it looks like they're also getting a bit more comfortable in the rival series for some of their passing plays and some of their shots that they are making. And from what we were seeing of the Baguette squad, they did bring it into overtime. And I mean, what an interesting game to make it that, where what a great pass coming out from Matane to KASH, and not some kind of dumpster goal where someone accidentally misses it, where it was just a great play coming out from Notorious Legion.
I think that's the series of the week. And we'll be talking about this series after the break. Guys, don't go anywhere. This is the Rival Series here on Rival Esports. Of course, make sure you hit that follow button above, and we'll see you in a few moments.